Some of y'all, not everybody, but some, are walking around just mad at the whole damn world. And you don't even know why. You mad at your girl, mad at your kids, mad at your job, mad in traffic, just mad. And here's the truth nobody never told you. It ain't them, it's you. See, that's the thing about anger. It'll have you thinking that everybody else is the problem, when really it's something in you that you haven't dealt with. And the crazy part, you've been carrying it so long, you don't even realize it anymore. You think it's just who you are. But I'm going to tell you right now that anger is heavy, it's loud, it's leaking into everything in your life. And until you learn how to deal with it, it's going to keep burning everything around you down, including you. Let's get into it. You're now tuned in to Elevate with Sage. I am your host, Sage. You could have been anywhere else in the world right now, but you chose to be here with me. And here, we're all about holistic wellness. We're elevating mind, we're elevating body, we're elevating spirit from the inside out. So buckle up, breathe deep. This ain't just a podcast, this a mind shift. Let's elevate. All right, so let's just be honest. Most men, they don't even think they're angry. We'll say stuff like, I'm good. I just don't mess with people like that. Or, that's just how I am. Nah, bruh. That's not just how you are. That's you building walls so you don't have to deal with what's going on inside. And I get it. Man, a lot of us, we was raised to believe that if you show emotions, you weak. And I talked about this in previous episodes. Crying, that was for girls. Talking about your problems, that made you soft. So we got good at swallowing it all, locking it up, and trying to forget about it. But here's the thing. When you bury emotions alive, they don't die. They rot. Then that rot, it'll just leak out in ways you don't even notice at first. You start snapping over little stuff. Like your patience, it gets thinner and thinner. Somebody look at you the wrong way in traffic. Man, you ready to go crazy on them. You ready to risk it all. And it's not just the big blow-ups either. Some of y'all have that quiet anger. You know what I'm talking about. When you stop talking to people, you shut your woman out. You stop playing with your kids. You walk around the house like a shadow because you boiling on the inside. But you just don't want to deal with it. You just don't even got the energy to deal with that today. But here's what I learned the hard way, though. That quiet anger is just as dangerous as that loud anger. So loud anger burns bridges quick, but that quiet anger, it eats away at the connection between you and the people you love slowly. And the crazy part, they can feel it. Your woman feel it. Man, I promise you, your kids feel it. Your friends feel it. You cannot hide energy. I don't care what you do. You cannot hide energy. So I'm going to ask you this. When's the last time you checked in with yourself? Not, am I hungry? Not, am I tired? But you really sat down and asked yourself, what's bothering me right now? What's eating me up inside? Most men, we never do that because we've been taught to avoid it. But if you never call your anger by its real name, you'll keep on blaming everybody else for how you feel. And that, my brother, that'll keep you stuck. So before we go any further, I really want you to think about this last week. How many times did you feel yourself get irritated? How many times did you cut somebody off mid-sentence? How many times did you feel your chest get tight because something just didn't go your way? That's not just having a bad day. That's your anger showing you that it's still alive and well. Let's talk about where that anger really comes from. Because it's deeper than somebody cutting you off in traffic. It's deeper than your girl getting on your nerves. And for a lot of us, it started a long time ago. Some of us, we grew up in homes where we didn't get heard. You could be right, bruh, you could be wrong. It didn't matter. Your opinion, it wasn't respected. So you learned to either stay quiet or fight for every inch just to feel like you mattered. That right there, man, it sticks with you. Now, as a grown man, anytime somebody talks over you or dismiss you, it'll hit that same nerve that it used to hit back in the day. I mean, a lot of us, we had fathers who were hard on us, or some of us had fathers who weren't there at all. And whether we want to admit it or not, that leaves a hole. Man, you grew up trying to prove yourself, trying to be the man you think you're supposed to be. But there's this quiet voice inside saying, like, you'll never be good enough. That voice, that's really what's driving a lot of your anger. But then there's pressure. Man, let's talk about that pressure. Being a man in this world means you're supposed to provide, you're supposed to protect, you're supposed to be strong, you're supposed to hold it all together. Man, you're supposed to smile while you're doing it, right? But what happens when you can't? Man, what happens when your money's low? What happens when the bills pile up? When you showing up for everybody else, but man, ain't nobody showing up for you. And that's when that resentment, it'll creep in. And if you don't check it, that resentment is just gonna turn into pure anger. And here's the part that's hard to swallow. A lot of the anger you feel ain't even about other people. It's really about you being disappointed in yourself. You mad that you didn't chase that dream when you had the chance. You mad because you stayed in the situation too long. You mad because you keep breaking promises to yourself. You look in the mirror and deep down, you know you could be doing better. You know you can. And instead of facing that, instead of like being a man and facing that, it's easier to lash out at the world. And I'm saying this because I've been there. Shit, I've been the man who was mad at everybody else when really I was mad at me. And it wasn't until I got real with myself that things started to shift. So before we talk about controlling anger, we got to admit where it's coming from because anger is like smoke. And if you just focus on waving the smoke away, man, that fire's still burning. So you got to go find that fire and you got to put that fire out. So for some of y'all, that fire it's an old wound from your childhood. For some others, it's failed relationships that you never healed from. And for a few others, it's the constant feeling that you're behind in life. And I just felt like that for a long time, that I was behind in life. But whatever it is, if you don't face it, it's gonna keep spilling into your relationships. It'll keep on spilling into your kids. It's gonna spill into your work. And then one day, it's gonna cost you more than you're willing to pay. See, most people, they think anger is just yelling, cussing, throwing stuff. Man, that's the TV version. But real life anger is sneakier than that. It can be quiet. It can be polite. It can even look like you don't care when really you care too much. So let me paint some pictures for you. Man, you ever come home from work, you drop your keys and just go straight to the back room without saying a word. Man, you ain't slamming doors. You're not yelling, but you shutting people out. Guess what? That's anger. Or maybe you sitting at the dinner table. You all in your phone scrolling. You giving short answers. And everybody think you tired, huh? But nah, really, it's something eating you up. And that's anger too. For some brothers, anger, it shows up as sarcasm. You might throw little jabs, crack jokes that are half true, but then you disguise it as, I'm just playing. But deep down, you know damn well you meant that. And for others, anger, it shows up in control. You start micromanaging everything, telling everybody what to do, how they need to do it, and when they need to do it. Because if you can control the little stuff, you don't have to deal with the big stuff that's out of your control. So let's just keep it real. A lot of women, well, they pick up on this stuff way before you think they do. She might not call it anger, but she gonna feel that energy shift, and she'll say stuff like, "What's wrong?" Like she might ask you, "You been quiet lately?" And then when you hit her with that classic, "Nothing, I'm cool, I'm good," man, she know you lying. And every time you say that, you just screaming out like inside, like she can feel you inside, like I can't trust you with my feelings. I can't trust you with what's really going on in my mind. I don't trust you to talk to you about that. But it's not just in relationships. Anger comes out at work. That coworker that get on your nerves. Instead of addressing it, you start avoiding doing work with them, or you might drag your feet on purpose. Like your boss, he can make a change you don't like, and then now you just doing the bare minimum. You just doing whatever to get through the day. And here's a dangerous one, bro. You start holding anger in so long that it starts becoming normal. You stop noticing it, and it just becomes your default. You think that's just me, but everybody else around you, they feel it. So let me ask you this. If the people you love had to describe your vibe over the last month, like what would they say? Would they say you've been present, easy to be around? Would they say you've been distant, short, hard to talk to? See, that's the sneaky thing about anger. It's not always loud, but it's always felt. And if you don't recognize the way it's showing up in your life, you can't change it. So here's your first challenge today. For the week, catch yourself. When you walk in the room, notice your body language. When somebody talks to you, notice your tone. When you feel that heat rise up in your chest, don't ignore it. Just pause and ask yourself, what's this really about? And you might be surprised at what you find out about yourself. We really got to start processing anger without letting it process you. So let's just keep it all the way 100. The worst thing you can tell a man who's already hot is to calm down. Well, that's like throwing gasoline on a fire and wondering why it blew up in your face. So if calm down doesn't work for you, what does? First thing, you got to just catch the boil before it spills. Think about cooking something on the stove. Once it boils over, man, you can't get that mess back in the pot. But if you see it heating up, you can turn down the heat a little bit. So that's the same way with anger. For me, really, that means paying attention to the signs before I lose it. My jaw might tighten. My hands might ball up. My voice to start cutting sharp. Man, that's my body telling me, bruh, we're about to go there. And that's when I know I gotta just take it a step back. And here's the trick, man. Stepping back, it don't make you weak. It makes you smart. Like I'd rather walk out the room and collect myself than to stand there and say something I can't take back. Bro, you don't get extra points in life for winning arguments but losing relationships. Nah, it don't work like that. Now, I know some of y'all, you just say yes to everything type dudes. You overcommit. You take on everybody else's problems until you drowning in your own resentment. Then one day, somebody asks you for something small and you snap on them like they ask you for your whole soul. And really, that's because you've been saying yes when you really meant no, I can't. So let me free you right now. Saying no, it's not disrespect. It's not you being lazy. It's you really protecting your peace. So start with small no's. Somebody asks you to go out when you tired. Nah, man, I'm chilling tonight. I'm good tonight. Or the boss wants you to take on some extra work when you're already loaded. Nah, I can't get that job my best right now. I can't take that extra project. So practice saying it without over explaining. Listen, you don't owe everybody a TED talk on why you're protecting yourself. You just don't. You don't have to just go deep into explaining why you say no. So now let's flip it. Some brothers, man, they are the opposite. They say no to everything because they think they're agreeing to something that makes them look weak or soft. They gotta be hard all the time, like it's a job. Well, that's your ego. And here's the truth. Real strength is being secure enough to do what's right for you. So whether it's a yes or a no, without worrying about how it looks to other people. So let's talk about release. Anger is energy. You can't just make it disappear. You got to give it somewhere to go. For me, sometimes that's me going to the gym. I can put on gloves, hit the bag, sweat it out. But by the time I'm done, I feel lighter. For you, it might be a run, working on your car, or putting some music on and just driving around for an hour. The key is get it out of your body before it starts rotting in your mind. And okay, here's the last one. Control the temperature of the room. Man, I've been in situations where I could have gone toe to toe. I could have raised my voice. I could have matched their energy. But instead, I stayed cool. And you know what happened? They had to match my energy. That's what I call distinguished gentleman in energy. The alpha that doesn't have to bark to prove that he's an alpha. The cat who can sit back, smile, and still get his point across without breaking a sweat. So ask yourself, do you want to be the man who loses control and has to clean up the mess later? Or do you want to be the man who keeps control and gets the same results? Maybe even better because he stayed grounded. So here goes some homework for this week. Next time you feel the heat rising, pause, breathe, step back if you need to, and decide, do I want to react or do I want to respond? You do that enough times and you'll start seeing anger not as something to avoid, but as a signal that it's time to make a better choice. All right, let me tell you something that most men don't even realize until it's too late. Anger will tax your body more than the IRS. It's not about blowing up in the moment. That anger, it'll sit in your body like poison. You'll stay tense, your blood pressure stays high, your sleep is trash, your heart, it'll work harder, your immune system, it'll start getting weaker, and your patience, it'll run thin with people that you actually care about. And over time, all that stuff makes you old. It'll age you so fast, take so many years off of your life. Now let's talk about relationships. You ever notice how people start walking on eggshells around somebody who's always mad? They stop talking as much as they used to. They don't share what's really on their mind. It's not because they don't care, it's because they're trying to avoid setting you off. And if you're not careful, that turns your home into a cold, quiet place where nobody feels safe. And here's the dangerous part. Some men, they mistake that quiet time, that quietness for peace. See, everything's good, ain't nobody arguing. Nah, bruh, that's not peace. That's distance. And once people they start feeling like they can't be themselves around you, that connection they start dying. And if you're a father, listen close. For real. Your kids are watching how you handle frustration. If all they see you doing is shutting down, blowing up, or walking around bitter, and guess what they're gonna learn? The same thing you learn, that emotions are either a weapon or a weakness. And then that cycle keeps going on and on and on, generation after generation. Listen, I'm telling you, breaking that cycle is one of the most powerful things you can do it as a man. You're not just saving yourself. You're teaching your kids that being strong doesn't mean being stone cold. Now let's talk legacy. Man, when you gone, people are gonna remember how you made them feel more than anything else. Were you the guy that they could call when life got heavy? Or were you the guy that they avoided because they didn't know which version of you they was gonna get that day? I know some of y'all thinking, man, I've been this way my whole life. Okay, cool. But that don't mean you have to stay that way. Growth is possible, but it starts with owning the fact that something needs to change. Anger is really not the problem. Unmanaged anger is the problem. So here's what I know. The day you learn to master your anger, you level up in every single area of your life. Your relationships will get stronger. Your body is going to feel lighter. Man, even your money flows better because you're not making reckless emotional decisions. So when I talk about this, I'm not talking at you. I'm talking with you because I've been there. I've been that dude who walked around ready to snap. And it cost me more than I ever want to pay again. All right. We've called it out. We've traced it back to where it started, and we've talked about what it's costing you. So now let's talk about what we can actually do about it. Let's talk about a game plan, real steps. You know, step one, let's catch it in the moment. Where you cannot fix what you don't notice. So the next time you feel that heat rising in your chest or your jaw tightening, or you got that, man, here we go again feeling, you just call it out to yourself. Just say, all right, I'm getting pissed off right now. So when you can name it, you can control it. Step two, get space without running away. Listen, there's nothing wrong with just stepping back just so you can calm down. Just don't disappear. Like if it's an argument with your lady, just be like, man, listen, I need a few minutes and I'll be back so we can finish this calm, so we can talk about this like adults, so we can not just sit here and scream in each other's face and get nowhere. I mean, if it's at work, well, just get out the room before you say something that's going to have you in HR tomorrow. All right. Number three, move your body. I'm serious, man. Like, do push-ups, take a walk, hit the gym, go shadow box, whatever you got to do. Man, anger builds up energy in your body. And if you don't release it physically, it's going to come out in words or actions that you regret. Okay? Step four, let's get to the root. All right? Later, when you calm, ask yourself, man, what was I really mad about? And sometimes you'll realize that it wasn't even about the situation in front of you. It was about feeling disrespected, unseen, or it reminded you of something old. That's when the real work happens. Healing the root, not just trimming the branches. All right? So, step five, build your outlet. Every man needs a release valve. Somewhere you can just dump the stress before it turns into rage. Right? That might be the gym, that might be music, that might be journaling, fishing, prayer. Whatever fills your tank back up, do it. Make it a part of your life. Not just something when you do when things just get bad. Just keep on finding new ways to just build an outlet. Every day, even when you're happy, build an outlet. All right, step six, talk to somebody who gets it. I don't care if it's a therapist, pastor, mentor, your homeboy who's got some sense, and just get it out. Holding it in, it doesn't make you strong. It makes you a ticking time bomb. It's like you got C4, like on your chest or something. But here's the truth. Mastering your anger, it doesn't make you weak. Don't make you soft. It makes you dangerous in the right way. It means you can walk in any situation and stay in control. And in this world that we living in, that's power. So here's the challenge for this week. The next time you feel that anger start to rise, just try one of these steps. Don't wait until you're perfect. Don't wait until you read 10 books on it. Just try it once. Because the day you prove to yourself that you can control your anger instead of it controlling you, that's the day you start operating on a whole new level. Fellas and ladies too, let me leave you with this. The goal ain't to never get angry. The goal is to master it so it doesn't master you. Because when you can keep your cool, you can keep your crown. And when you keep your crown, you move different and people treat you different. So if anything I've said today hit you, don't just nod your head and go back to the same old patterns. Let's do something about it because life is not going to wait for you to get your emotions right, and neither will the opportunities that come your way. And listen, I'm putting this out there. In the near future, I'll be opening up some one-on-one coaching. This ain't gonna be about, just hype or fake motivation or anything like that. This gonna be real work, digging in, building your mindset, your confidence, your discipline, and your emotional control so you can win in your relationships, your money, your peace. And if you're feeling like you need that kind of push, just keep listening and stay connected with me. Because when that drop, I want you to be ready. Also, this show is something I do because I believe it matters. But if you ever feel like it's brought you value, if you've ever walked away from an episode feeling stronger, wiser, or just lighter, and you can help keep the movement going. It can be as simple as sharing an episode with somebody who needs to hear it. It could be leaving a review so the platforms push it to more people. And yeah, if you ever feel moved to support financially, though, those options are in my link tree. No pressure, just love. Because at the end of the day, this ain't just my show. This is our community, our conversations. And the more we grow, the more lives we can touch. So here's my challenge to you this week. Go master that anger this week. Go show the world what it looks like when somebody leads with strength and not ego. And keep building yourself because the better you get, the better life gets. I'll see y'all in the next episode, but until then, keep your peace close, keep your head high, and keep elevating. Hey, if this hit you, share it. Send it to somebody going through the fire but still choosing peace. New episodes dropping weekly, and every time we going a little deeper. This ain't just talk, it's transformations. I'm Sage, and this is Elevate with Sage. Until next time, I wish you nothing but love, peace, happiness. Let's elevate.